Since we have the ability to get along, we learn to give things that are important to us, share, and put ourselves above our own interests. But someone warns us of the danger of excessive kindness and friendship. We live in a world where we don't always get what we give because this world is full of generous people who are exhausted financially and energetically by indiscriminate acts of sacrifice. Excessive generosity can jeopardize our lives and our future, which you will learn about in today's video. Be amazed by the unexpected negative consequences that kindness can have for you and your future. Today, we'll explore what happens when you are overly kind, and I'll give you 6 Stoic strategies to help prevent people from taking advantage of your generosity. The first strategy is to have realistic expectations of people. Stoics emphasize the need to accept situations as they are and the actions of others because expecting too much from them will always disappoint you. By giving without expecting much in return, you avoid disappointments and practice emotional detachment, leading to greater tranquility in your life. Rarely are we so generous that we act at 100% without consciously or unconsciously showing interest. When we do, we set ourselves up for the same treatment, especially when we need help that is very important. However, you've conditioned people to take care of themselves, and they believe that you can handle everything, including their lives and yours. Why have you taken on the responsibility of others? The truth is that your hopes of receiving help in return may not be fulfilled. In most cases, you'll end up feeling more diverse, tired, disappointed, and disillusioned while expecting help from those you've helped. However, objectively looking at it, people aren't disappointing you. On the contrary, they're simply doing what you should also be doing, which is taking care of their own responsibilities. When everyone takes responsibility, a healthy balance is created, freeing each from the weight they individually carry. So it's time to act and not expect help from people. And if you do help someone, don't expect anything in return except gratitude. Secondly, people are constantly expecting your help. According to Stoic principles, it's important to remember that true value lies in acting according to virtue and reason, not just meeting others' expectations. Practicing moderation and distributing help in a balanced way allows you to maintain control over your actions and avoid falling into patterns that can negatively impact your emotional health. We all know that we're creatures of habit in our lives, inclined to adapt to routine, lifestyle, and surrounding circumstances. This tendency towards habit is the root of the concept of the comfort zone. In other words, when you give generosity, people will expect you to always be ready to help them in one way or another. This means that, in a sense, you're leading them into your comfort zones, which can lead them to neglect their own responsibilities as they rely on your constant assistance. The dilemma you face is that by not setting boundaries, you may underestimate your worth and still be expected to carry the load for others. When you don't do what they asked, it's highly unlikely that anyone, especially those dependent on your help, will approach you and say that it's important for you to take better care of yourself. Don't expect them to sympathize. They may see themselves as modern-day Ronins, which could cost them their own lives. You can balance your willingness to help others with caring for your own well-being and personal gratitude. If you've ever helped someone and then regretted it, share your story in the comments. Your priorities may ultimately overlook Stoic principles, always emphasizing living in accordance with reason and virtue, which is one of the main Stoic virtues. Establishing and prioritizing our own responsibilities is crucial for maintaining balance and avoiding sacrificing our authenticity and well-being for others. When you fully dedicate yourself to prioritizing others, you risk missing out on something within yourself, something that can cause discomfort and anxiety. And if you find yourself in your pursuit of happiness and achievements, it's inevitable that you'll encounter your inner self eventually. Firstly, your mood usually worsens as you neglect to meet the needs of others, making yourself feel insignificant. It's not that you shouldn't help others, it's that we should help while setting boundaries. If you can't fulfill your own duties, how do you expect to help someone else? Assistance is a key element in achieving well-being, but before offering comfort to others, it's essential that you feel content and cared for. In other words, don't offer chocolate to someone until you've treated yourself. Just as you wouldn't offer to help a friend clean their house before you've tidied up your own pristine home and enjoyed a relaxing moment with a glass of wine and a good film or simply unwinding. First, take care of yourself and then turn this attention to the rest of the world. Stoicism encourages us to develop our inner strength and self-control. Setting certain boundaries and practicing self-discipline allows us to show others that we adhere to our own responsibilities and values, earning respect rather than being considered fragile and easily available to everyone. Constantly offering help can create an image of you as easily manipulable, which in turn can lead others to shift their responsibilities onto you. However, when you start setting boundaries and saying no when necessary, you demonstrate your authenticity and commitment to your own priorities, earning the respect of those around you. Cultivating balanced relationships also plays a key role in achieving a more flourishing life. These relationships are characterized by reciprocity, where each party contributes and receives support based on respect and fairness. Reciprocity is a fundamental aspect of balanced relationships. This means that everyone involved must be willing to provide and receive support on fair terms. It doesn't mean that because you're a man, you should give in to everything a woman asks for. Everything has its limits, and this applies to both genders. When you're too kind, it becomes an obligation. You might find that many only show up when they need something. The pursuit of Stoic philosophy teaches us to appreciate insight and wisdom in choosing whom to help. Through self-control and objectivity, we can distinguish genuine people from those who seek to take advantage of us. Refraining from expending energy in situations that can resolve themselves becomes an established practice. At times, friends may start excluding us from fun moments, only turning to us when they have specific needs. This isn't surprising, as people typically don't invite colleagues to social gatherings to share relaxed and enjoyable times. It's important to study the differences in strategies in relationships. The wisdom of Stoics helps us attract sincere and mutually beneficial individuals into our lives, who aren't just seeking help, but are also ready to contribute. Our energy attracts similar energy in return. When we emit positive vibrations, we draw optimists, people full of generosity and kindness. However, if we sacrifice indiscriminately, we begin to emit negativity and attract people geared towards speculation or need. Because this often happens, the latter usually lack the intention or resources to repay debts, as their approach is to maximize their use of us without even feeling gratitude or obligation, as they are only there to drain your energy. This exposes you to a high risk of developing dependency. Stoics emphasize moderation and self-control. Showing generosity with self-discipline helps us avoid addiction and enables us to maintain healthy relationships with our actions and choices. When the sense of lack becomes part of our daily lives, the need typically continues to grow, creating an ideal scenario to become dependent on someone. Perhaps someday someone close to you will notice that you consume something excessively, whether it's a drink, food, or even a gaming obsession. It's crucial to take seriously what someone who cares about you might say. Sometimes the initial reaction may be irritation and denial of any issues. However, this is a common response from those deeply involved in their concerns. Remember that people who love you aim for your well-being, so it's essential to pay attention to their observations. Since these concerns are meant to help you avoid pitfalls and move towards the progress you desire, you may arouse suspicion. Stoicism urges us to act honestly regardless of how others may interpret our actions or judge us. By focusing inward, we cultivate a genuine reputation. Though we might wish the world were different, the reality is that there are few truly altruistic people. Therefore, if you are one of them, you may arouse suspicion instead of receiving admiration and gratitude, not that it's the most important thing. Soon people will start questioning your hidden intentions when they show generosity. They might wonder what's behind your actions or if there's a special interest. This doesn't mean that you've stumbled upon a group of naturally suspicious individuals, but they are more likely to be realistic and sincere. Most overly nice people tend to conceal unclear intentions, and as a precaution, it's often better to avoid interacting with them and refusing their offered help. Therefore, to navigate this, always pay attention to those who genuinely wish you well, as this person could be the key to changing your life. Don't expect to do something and receive something in return, and likewise, you shouldn't help expecting something in return. Maintaining healthy boundaries to protect your well-being is crucial. Cultivate a garden of precious flowers in your green grass and peaceful surroundings. By establishing healthy boundaries in your personal and professional life, it's like constructing a protective fence around your emotional integrity. Time and energy boundaries play a vital role in our lives, drawing a line between what's acceptable and what's not. They are like personal boundaries that define where you end and others begin. Establishing healthy boundaries is a way to preserve your emotional, physical, and mental well-being. Without clear boundaries, you risk feeling overwhelmed and even exploited by others. As we quoted earlier in this video, one of the key points to understand is that to protect your time and energy, life is a journey that requires balance. When you fail to set limits, you risk stretching yourself too thin. This can lead to an overloaded schedule, a lack of time to take care of yourself, and physical and emotional exhaustion. Stoics place great importance on this. We must take care of ourselves and spend time alone. As Seneca said, "Nothing, in my view, is a better proof of a well-organized mind than the ability of a man to stop precisely where he is and spend some time in his own company." Let's consider 6 strategies to prevent people from taking advantage of you. Strategy number 1, listen to your feelings. This initial step is based on the fundamental concept of self-awareness. Pay attention to your feelings and emotions. Stoics valued self-reflection of their reactions and needs, which is crucial for you. By listening to your feelings, you can determine if you're giving too much and emotionally exhausting yourself. This allows you to adjust your focus and find a healthier balance. Ask yourself how you feel when helping others. Taking care of yourself and prioritizing your own needs as selflessly as you help others should make you feel good. So if you feel oppressed, exhausted, angry, or exploited, it's a sign that it's time to meditate and listen to your own feelings. If something you're not obligated to do causes you so much discomfort, it's important not to ignore these feelings. They are valuable indicators of your emotional well-being. The second strategy is to overcome the fear of saying no. The word no is essential in your life because it sets boundaries and can free you from draining situations. When you say no to something, it reflects your values, showing that you're not a person who says yes to everything and everyone. And when you say yes, it's the final word. The third strategy aligns with Stoic teachings and involves recognizing the value of your time and energy. By consciously and balancedly allocating them, you can refuse situations where you feel overwhelmed or when the request isn't fair. This is a way to demonstrate self-control. For some, saying no is challenging, but it's crucial to overcome the fear and use it at certain moments in your life. If we don't do this, negativity can take root in our lives when someone demands more from us than we can offer. It's important to practice saying no. It can even be helpful to practice in front of a mirror and convince ourselves that it's the only way to reclaim our freedom and avoid unnecessary risks, especially in certain situations. These strategies can help create a healthier balance in relationships and protect your emotional well-being. If you're constantly practicing the use of this word, if yes, leave it in the comments or tell us about a situation where you simply refuse someone. Strategy number 3. Allocate time and space for yourself. This strategy is based on the Stoic principles of self-discipline and self-respect, which are fundamental. It's important to set aside time and space to take care of yourself, to do what you truly enjoy, whether it's exercising, drawing, listening to music, pursuing hobbies, or anything that motivates you. Try to fulfill your commitments as early as possible so that you can dedicate time to these activities. This should be taken very seriously in your life, sticking to the schedule daily or weekly. If someone asks you to collaborate during this time, they should be very respectful and willing to cooperate with you, not just with you. So don't hesitate to say no without feeling guilty. Enjoy this time and space exclusively for yourself. If you don't want to be so strict, you can offer assistance at another time, but always make it clear that your availability will be limited because you have your own life to take care of, which will be very important. Strategy number 4. Practice gratitude daily. Practicing gratitude in your everyday life can help you maintain a positive and resilient mindset. Take time every day to reflect on what you're grateful for. This can help improve your emotional well-being and attract more positive things into your life. If you prefer, keep a journal where you can jot down your thoughts, moments from your life, and even your wishes and dreams. When you do this daily, your mind is free from negative thoughts, making room for good energy in your life. Write down everything you're thankful for. It can be pivotal in your life. Strategy number 5. Set goals and develop a plan of action. Having clear goals and creating a plan to achieve them can provide a sense of purpose and direction in your life. By setting specific, attainable goals, you can motivate yourself to take action toward achieving them. Remember that progress often comes gradually. Be patient and persistent in pursuing your life goals and tasks. These additional strategies can complement the initial ones we mentioned, aimed at improving the quality of life and emotional well-being in both professional and personal spheres. Before moving on to the last strategy, I asked you to subscribe to our channel and leave comments just like in this video. I bet you've learned many good things too, so please leave a comment as it's essential to us. And thank you for your participation. Now let's move on to strategy number 6. Identify energy vampires and distance yourself from them. This strategy requires insight. It's crucial to understand which relationships benefit you and which ones may drain your energy without contributing positively. Remember that your inner world is more important than anything else. With it, you can accomplish everything you set out to do. When we have direction in our lives, we follow that path. When there's no peace in our daily lives, it drags us down or pulls us to the bottom of the well. If you try to help an energy vampire enthusiastically, know that it probably won't work. These individuals tend to overload you with complaints, pains, and a negative outlook on life. They're not very interested in solving their problems because that would mean stopping their complaining, which they don't want to do. In short, Stoic wisdom teaches us that balance is everything we do in life, including generosity. If we give too little, it can make us selfish, while giving too much leaves us exhausted, both in time and even financially, being one of the most dangerous. Therefore, choosing shades of gray where we find a balance between prioritizing others and taking care of ourselves is often the best approach. And when in doubt, remember the magical word no. I sincerely hope these tips have been helpful for you. Remember, you are a crucial part of this channel. If this video helped you, made you think or learn something entirely new, please leave a similar comment so more people can discover the teachings of Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't already, subscribe right now and leave your comment. Every little step counts in the journey. I'll be here until next time.